Hello friends, our today's topic of discussion is digital multiplexers and PAM-TDM system. So, in digital multiplexers, basically digital multiplexing is based on the principle of interleaving symbols from two or more digital signals. This is similar to TDM but it does not require the periodic sampling waveform preservation. The digital data can be multiplexed by using a bit-by-bit interleaving process. The digital multiplexing will enable us to combine many digital signals such as computer outputs, digital voice, digitized facsimile, and TV signals. The various digital sources that are to be multiplexed will have different bit rates. In practice, the bit rate variation poses the most serious design problem and leads to the three categories of multiplexing, such as synchronous multiplexing, asynchronous multiplexing, and quasi-synchronous multiplexing. So, we will discuss one by one. So the first one, synchronous multiplexer. Here, when a single master clock governs all the sources and the synchronous multiplexers are used. No bit variations are there. It has highest efficiency and it has also complexity because of master clock signal. Here, as the bit rate variations are completely eliminated, the synchronous multiplexing systems attain a very high throughput efficiency. In the synchronous digital multiplexers, a master clock governs all the sources over here. The next one is asynchronous multiplexer. The asynchronous multiplexer are used for the digital data sources which operate in the start-stop mode. These sources produce data in the form of bursts of characters with a variable spacing between the bursts. The techniques such as buffering and character interleaving makes it possible to merge these sources into a synchronous multiplex string. So this is a synchronous multiplexer where a master clock is present which governs all the sources. In asynchronous multiplexer, buffering and character interleaving makes it possible to merge these sources into a synchronous multiplex bit stream. Now the third one, that is quasi-synchronous multiplexer. These multiplexers are used when the input bit rates have the same nominal value but vary within specific bounds. These multiplexers are arranged in a hierarchy of increasing bit rates to constitute the basic building blocks of an interconnected digital communication system. So this is the block diagram for the quasi-synchronous multiplexer over here. We can see number of inputs are there. Here elastic stores are used and control unit is used and multiplexer is used. The features of quasi-synchronous multiplexer. The first feature is it should have a sufficient high output bit rate so that it can accommodate the maximum input bit rate. It should have spatial buffers called elastic stores for temporary storage of input bits. It should stuff bits to pad the output stream. It is a combination of two processes, namely bit stuffing and synchronous multiplexing. Here, there are n number of input signals whose bit rate varies from R minimum to R maximum around a nominal value. The mux, here we are having a mux, it will have a constant output rate, that is RO, that is output bit rate is greater than n times R maximum, that is maximum bit rate. This constant output rate is achieved by using the technique that is synchronous, quasi-synchronous. The control unit, this control unit, it receives a signals from all the elastic stores and returns a read signal back to them. The elastic stores which receives a read signal will put its output bits to mux input. The control unit, here the control unit also supplies control and stub bits to the mux. The stub bits are extra bits added to the output bit stream of the mux in order to make the bit rate of each signal same. The number of bits to be stuffed for each channel will be different from other channel. Thus, with the help of bit stuffing technique, we can make the bit rate of all the inputs 1 to n equal. So, this is quasi-synchronous multiplexer where elastic stores are used for the inputs like from n number of inputs with the clock signals, and multiplexers are also used. Multiplexer is also used, and the control unit is used so that it can take the signals from the elastic stores and it will give the read signal to the elastic stores also. It will provide a bit stuffing to the multiplexer, and so that the output rate will be constant, and the clock is also used over here. Divided by n network is also used to provide the clock signal to the multiplexer over here. So here the number of bits to be stuffed for each channel will be different from other channel. So if it depends on the inputs, how many number of inputs are input bits are there, it depends on that how many bits to be stuffed. It may be different for different inputs also, and so that the output bit rate will be same in this case. So here the input signals, n input signals are used with the bit rate that is R maximum to R minimum to R maximum around a nominal value. Mux, it has a constant output rate that is RO is greater than n into R max, the control unit which will receive the signal from all the elastic source and returns read signal back to them. The elastic source will put its value output bits to mux input, and the control unit also supplies control and stub bits to the mux. The stub bits are extra bits added to the output bit stream of the mux in order to make the bit rate of each signal same. Now, coming to the next point, that is PAM-TDM. As the name suggests, that is pulse amplitude modulation, and TDM, that is time division multiplexing over here. So, basically PAM-TDM. In this system, we can see the transmitter also, or the modulator also, as well as the demodulator also over here. So we can see number of low pass filters are used depending on number of input signals. So here we can see that is x1 of t, x2 of t up to xn of t. So n number of signals are applied. They are applied to the low pass filters over here so that the signals will be band limited. Now we can see a commutator switch is used over here, PAM modulation. Then the modulated signal is given to the communication channel, then pulse amplitude demodulation is used, and then decommutator switch is used, and number of low pass filters are used so that again we can retrieve our original signal, that is x1 of t, x2 of t and xn of t. So this is a PAM TDM block diagram. The operation of this system, basically it depends on the commutator switch. The multiplexer here is a single pole rotating switch or commutator. It can be mechanical switch or electronic switch. It rotates at the frequency Fs rotations per second. As the switch arm rotates, this is switch arm, as it rotates, it is going to make contact with the position. So here it is connected to the X1 channel over here. So it will be going to make the contact with the positions like 1, 2 and up to n for short time. So for short time it will be connected to 1. The same signal will be given to pulse amplitude modulation. Then again next time it will be connected to, and similarly up to n over here. To these contacts are connected the n analog signals which are to be multiplexed. Thus the switch arm, it will connect these n input signals one by one to the communication channel. The waveform of TDM signal which is being transmitted, it will be consisting the samples from all the signals. That is first sample of first signal x1 of t, then first sample of second signal x2 of t, like this, and first sample of xn of t. Once it will complete the all the signals, that is from signal 1 to n, it will be completing a one full rotation over here, and then Again it will be connected to second sample of your x1 of t, similarly second sample of x2 of t and up to n. Then it will be passed to the pulse amplitude modulation over here. Now we can observe what will be the waveform at the output of pulse amplitude modulation over here. Means before channel we can see the waveform over here. Into this, here this is x1 of t, that is only one signal. We can find out that is one revolution of the commutator switch. Here, the sampling of first input it is shown, that is x1 of t. Once the number of signals are multiplexed, that is multiplex PAM signal transmitted on the transmission channel. So how it looks like? For example, assume there are only 4 signals x1, x2, x3, x4. So as I told you, if 4 signals are there here, so your commutator switch or this arm will be connected to first for some time, then it will be connected to second channel for some time, then third and fourth. Once it will complete 4 signals, again back it will be connected to the first channel. So here we can see the each and every sample of your first channel, then second channel, then third and fourth. Once it will complete, again it will start for the next sample of first channel, second channel, third channel and fourth channel. So in one frame you can find out the first sample of, for example in this case x1 to xn. So n number of samples will be transmitted in one frame. The time is ts. You can find out the 1 by fs, that is frequency. So this is multiplex PAM waveform. Here once this signal is generated, it will be applied to the channel and then to the pulse amplitude demodulation. So that PAM demodulation will be done. After that, a decommutator switch is used, which will be connected again as per time, that is to the x1 to the s2 up to xn. So the same signals will be retrieved over here. So this is the PAM TDM system. Thank you.